Lizzie, I need to talk to you.
Sure, tell me.
I just wanted to say that I love you and I want you to marry me. I mean, you might not be like all the other girls who just throw themselves on me, but I think you're the one for me. Hell, you might not have a Bugatti or live in a country club or shop at Santana Row, wear clothes from all these fancy designers and all. You may even dress from Ross or Target and some other big department stores. But I know that you're the one for me, even though you look unreasonably low class, and I wouldn't want to marry anyone but you.
Is that all you wanted to say to me?
Well, yeah, so what do you say?
Well, I don't think so. You're the most arrogant, presumptuous, cocky, and vain man I have ever met. Not to mention the biggest jerk. I don't have to think about it. My answer will always be no. You think I'd marry you after you try to break up my sister in Bingley? Not to mention ruining Wickham's life. Why did you even do that to Jane?
Actually, for your information, I had a pretty good reason for keeping Bingley away from your sister. She wasn't right for him, and I know he can do better than that. As for Wickham, you don't even understand the full story, so I don't expect you to understand me at all. And to think I would have liked someone like you. If you're not going to marry me at all, I have no business here whatsoever. Have a nice day.
So in this scene, Darcy proposes to Elizabeth and she rejects him. In this, it shows that even though Darcy is such a proud man and has such a high status in society, he would marry Lizzie even though she's of lower class. In Jane Austen's time, people didn't marry for love, they married for wealth and status. Despite the difference in their social classes, as well as Darcy's high standards, he still decides to marry Lizzie.
Hey hon, I think we should spend some time together. I would love hearing your lovely voice reading some fantastic poems.
Read? Who reads for fun? Now, let's be serious. Where's the spa?
Spa?
Yes, spa. The gardeners have like the best one ever. They have this giant hot tub and masseuses. You don't think I'm beautiful just because I sit around doing nothing all day, do you? I have to go to the spas and salons for my facials, manicures, pedicures, the works. How else do you think I got you to marry me? Because I'm beautiful, that's why.
Why do I feel like I made the biggest mistake of my life ever, marrying that?
So unlike Darcy, Mr. Bennet married Mrs. Bennet because she was youthful and beautiful. When he married her, he didn't know what she really was like, which is foolish and extremely materialistic. After they got married, any feelings of love he had for her disappeared. So Darcy, on the other hand, is extremely romantic for falling in love with Elizabeth for who she was, even though she's of lower standing. He didn't care about that, and even though people might say something, he still wanted to marry her. But even though it shows that he's romantic, it's also a weakness about how he's unyielding to the opinions of others, and he doesn't care what people say. So Jane Austen's trying to tell us that even though we love someone for who they are, we need to listen to opinions of others. And she's also telling us that people should love people for who they are and not because of what they have or how they look like.
Hey Dad, me and Peter are going to the pub today, so
Let's go.
I'll see you later.
Okay kids, have fun.
So like in this scene, Jane Austen shows how detached that Mr. Bennet is to his own children and how like his careless attitude towards them makes them turn into these wild girls who can do what they want and they become really undisciplined. So Jane Austen is trying to say that you shouldn't be too careless even if you want to be the chill, cool dad, because your children will turn out really uncontrollable and unsuitable towards social life.
Hey sis, remember that piano from The Pianist? Well, I bought it for you with some furniture and new clothes to match with it.
Aw, thanks, brother.
You love it, right? Right? It's not too plain for your taste, Should I get another one? I knew I should have gotten the pink one,
No, it's wonderful. I love it.
I knew you would. And look, I bought you a Pomeranian to walk with you and listen to you sing. Isn't that just adorable?
Oh, great. Brother, is it okay if I go to Jenny's house this Saturday?
What? Of course not. Who knows what teenagers do these days? They're just so crazy and all. I wouldn't let you to go there with some bad influences. You're gonna stay here at home, safe and sound.
Right.
Now move along.
So in this scene, we try to portray how Mr. Darcy isn't careless and letting his sister do whatever she wants, unlike Mr. Bennet. So unlike the Bennet sisters, Georgiana is disciplined and well behaved, showing how Darcy's parenting skills, in contrast to Mr. Bennet's, is, in a sense, better. However, Bennet's spoil shows how Darcy is overprotective and how Georgiana becomes a sort of recluse. She's shy, lacking social skills, because he doesn't allow her to develop on her own, create her own opinions, form bonds with other people. So Jane Austen, in her social commentary, is trying to show us that one should provide a balance between letting your children or younger siblings do what they like and overprotecting them. Lydia, Lizzie, come over here. Look at all these handsome men. You should try talking to one of them. Isn't that right, dear?
Mm-hmm. I'll just go take a walk.
OMG! There's so many hot guys here. Oh my god, I see Wickham. I think me and Wickham are gonna go swimming, okay?
Mm-hmm. Dad, Lydia's not responsible enough. She'll get carried off by a wave.
No one asked you, Lizzie.
I think it's a good idea to let Lydia go to the deep end of the ocean. She will never know how deep the water is until she experiences it herself.
Dad, she already left.
I'm going to sleep.
So, funny weather we've been having.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Oh my goodness! Lydia's drowning! She's dying! Someone help!
What's with all the noise?
Your daughter's drowning and Wickham swam away!
Help me! Help me! Which daughter?
Lydia! Oh, my baby Lydia! Someone go and save her!
This is all my fault. I warned you. I should have warned you all about Wickham. He's very unreliable.
So when we were creating this scene, we really wanted to show and highlight the fact that Mr. Bennet is a foil for Mr. Darcy. And in the scene that you just saw, when Mr. Bennet tells Lydia that it's okay for her to go in the water with Wickham, Elizabeth says no, but he doesn't listen to her. And in the story, in the book Pride and Prejudice, what happens is Mr. Bennet thinks that it's a good idea for Lydia to go stay with the militia, but when Elizabeth says it's a bad idea, he doesn't listen to her, which shows that he doesn't really think out his strategies and his ideas. Okay, and one very important thing is in the book when Lydia runs away with Wickham, Mr. Bennet doesn't take responsibility and he sort of hides from it as he comes back home, and he's the earliest to come back home, while Mr. Darcy and Mr. Gardner are out there in London looking for her. And same way in this scene, he comes back first, and Mr. Bennet doesn't really care much for Lydia's well-being. And Jane Austen is trying to portray that a man should take responsibility for his actions, especially when it comes to his family.
You might not be like all the other girls, who just throw themselves on me. And
and our country's bordered by 3 different seas.
Yeah, I know that you want to be Canadian, please. We invented the zipper, we got expertise. We made insulin.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I know that you want to be Canadian, please.
And then let me finish.
Did she just say shit in the beginning of the scene? I can't cough it out.
Lydia's drowning! Oh, my baby Lydia! Someone go and save her!
On a 2 langues officielles. Et le français. Ouh là là.
Somewhere far along this road. Down, I've been traveling on this road so long. Just trying to find my way back home. The old is dead and gone.
Okay, one more time.
I believe in you.
I believe in him.
Okay,
And I don't believe in people.
Tremblay can do this. Let's do this.